Ever wanted to be that person who lingers in someone's thoughts, becoming the center of their focus and desire? Picture this. You effortlessly capture their attention, pulling them towards you as if by some invisible force. Sounds like magic, right? But what if I told you it's completely possible? Imagine that every moment spent apart only deepens their longing to be closer, as if you've cast a spell that leaves them yearning for your presence. This isn't just a dream. It's something you can achieve by embracing a few simple Stoic habits. You know how they say, the more you chase something, the faster it runs away? Well, today we're exploring how to stop chasing and start drawing people in naturally. No tricks, no games. Just a transformation of your innate qualities into something so powerful that your absence becomes a noticeable void in their life. We'll delve into Stoic wisdom, a philosophy so profound that it turns quiet confidence into a dynamic force that pulls people toward you over and over again. So, if you're ready to become the person everyone wants to be around, you're in the right place. We're going to uncover habits that make you so compelling, they won't even realize why they're drawn to you. Are you ready to see just how easy it is to become unforgettable? Let's jump in and learn the secrets to making them eagerly anticipate your presence. But before we get started, I've got a little challenge for you. If you're ready to step into your power and let your silence speak louder than words, drop a comment below with the phrase, "My absence speaks." This isn't just a phrase, it's a declaration of your strength, your resolve, and your commitment to becoming unforgettable. Let's show the world, and ourselves, that we're not just stepping back, we're stepping up in a way that makes our absence more powerful than ever before. Let's see how many of you are ready to embrace this shift and make your presence undeniable, even when you're not there. All right, let's dive into the first habit that's crucial for making someone come to you: unshakable self-worth. This isn't just about feeling good about yourself. It's about understanding your value so deeply that others can't help but notice it too. When you have unshakable self-worth, you become not just someone people want to be around. You become someone they need to be around. Imagine this. You walk into a room, and there's something about you that just commands attention. You're not the loudest person in the room, nor are you trying to be. Instead, there's a quiet confidence that radiates from you, a sense that you know exactly who you are and what you bring to the table. That, my friends, is unshakable self-worth. Why is this so important? Well, people are naturally drawn to those who are confident and self-assured. When you have a strong sense of self-worth, you don't need validation from others because you already know your own value. And guess what? That makes you incredibly attractive. As the saying goes, confidence is silent, insecurities are loud. So, what does it mean to have unshakable self-worth? It's about truly believing in your own value, regardless of what others might say or think. It's about knowing that you don't need anyone else to complete you because you're already whole. As the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." When you understand this truth, you become a magnet, attracting people who are drawn to your strength and confidence. But developing unshakable self-worth doesn't happen overnight. It's a process that requires a shift in mindset. You have to start valuing yourself for who you are, not for what others think of you. This means letting go of the need for approval and focusing on your own journey. Let's talk about how you can cultivate this kind of self-worth. It starts with self-reflection. Take a moment to think about your strengths, your achievements, and the qualities that make you unique. Write them down if you need to, and remind yourself of these things regularly. When you focus on your positive attributes, you begin to see just how valuable you really are. Another key aspect is setting boundaries. People with unshakable self-worth don't let others walk all over them. They know when to say no and aren't afraid to do so. By setting boundaries, you're telling others that you respect yourself and expect the same from them. This, in turn, earns their respect and admiration. And don't forget about self-care. Taking care of yourself, physically, mentally, and emotionally, is a vital part of building self-worth. When you prioritize your well-being, you're sending a message to yourself and others that you are worth the effort. It's like the safety briefing on an airplane. You need to put your own oxygen mask on first before helping others. When you take care of yourself, you're in a better position to help others and attract them to you. Now you might be wondering, how does this actually make people come to me? Well, here's the thing. People are naturally drawn to those who are self-assured. When you have unshakable self-worth, you exude confidence and independence. You're not clinging to others for validation, and that makes you incredibly attractive. Imagine this. You're in a relationship, but instead of constantly seeking reassurance or validation from your partner, you're living your best life. You're pursuing your goals, engaging in your hobbies, and enjoying your own company. You're not always available at their beck and call, and this creates a healthy space in the relationship. What happens next? Your partner starts to miss you. They start to wonder what you're up to, and they begin to crave your presence even more. Your absence starts speaking for you. Let's take an example. Imagine Alex, who always struggled with self-worth. He constantly sought approval from his friends and partners, always worrying about what they thought of him. But then Alex discovered Stoicism and began to work on his self-worth. He started to see himself differently, not as someone who needed validation, but as someone who already had value. As Alex's self-worth grew, he noticed a change in how others treated him. His friends began to respect his opinions more, his relationships improved, and he no longer felt the need to constantly seek approval. In fact, people started coming to him for advice and guidance. They were drawn to his confidence, his calm demeanor, and his ability to stand firm in his beliefs. Now let's lighten things up a bit. Picture this. You're in a coffee shop and you see two people. One is sitting there nervously glancing around, checking their phone every 2 seconds, clearly waiting for someone to notice them. The other is calmly sipping their coffee, reading a book, totally at ease in their own company. Which person are you more likely to be drawn to? The second one, right? Why? Because they're not desperate for attention. They're comfortable in their own skin. That's the power of unshakable self-worth. It's like being the person who doesn't need Wi-Fi in a coffee shop. Everyone else is searching for a connection, but you're just chilling, fully content. In relationships, unshakable self-worth is key to creating a dynamic where the other person feels drawn to you. When you value yourself, you're not afraid to walk away from situations that don't serve you. This isn't about playing hard to get. It's about understanding that your time and energy are valuable, and you won't waste them on people who don't appreciate you. As Seneca wisely said, if you really want to escape the things that harass you, what you're needing is not to be in a different place but to be a different person. This doesn't mean you become distant or aloof. It means you have a healthy balance of independence and connection. You can be in a relationship, but you're not defined by it. This balance is incredibly attractive because it shows that you're with them by choice, not out of need. So, if there's one thing to take away from this, it's this. When you cultivate unshakable self-worth, you don't have to chase people. They will come to you. Your confidence, your independence, your value, they all become magnetic forces that draw others in. You'll find that your absence will start speaking for you, creating a space that others are eager to fill with your presence. So I challenge you today, start recognizing your worth, set those boundaries, and take care of yourself. The more you value yourself, the more others will value you too. And before you know it, they'll be coming to you, not because you chase them, but because they simply can't resist the pull of your unshakable self-worth. Now, if you're ready to start this journey, drop a comment below with the words, "My absence speaks." Let's declare it together and watch as your value shines through, drawing others to you naturally. Keep growing, keep shining, and remember, you're worth it. Let's move on to the next habit, shall we? After hearing about the power of unshakable self-worth, you might be wondering, how do I maintain this sense of self-worth when life gets tough and I start doubting myself? What do I do when others try to undermine my confidence or when my own inner critic starts to get loud? This is such an important question, and I'm glad you're thinking about it because, let's be real, we all face moments when our self-worth is challenged. Maybe you've been in a situation where someone said something that made you question your value, or perhaps you faced a setback that shook your confidence. It happens to all of us. The key is knowing how to hold on to your self-worth, even when the world tries to knock you down. First, let's talk about self-awareness. When life gets tough, it's easy to start doubting ourselves. That's when you need to take a step back and reflect. Ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? Is this doubt coming from a real issue, or is it just my mind playing tricks on me? Often, we let temporary feelings cloud our judgment, forgetting that our value isn't determined by a single moment or comment. Next, it's crucial to stay grounded in your values. Remember what we discussed earlier. Your worth isn't tied to what others think of you. It's about who you are and what you stand for. When someone tries to undermine your confidence, remind yourself of the values and principles that define you. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." So, keep your thoughts focused on your strengths and the positive aspects of who you are. Another strategy is to surround yourself with positive influences. It's much easier to maintain your self-worth when you're around people who lift you up rather than bring you down. Seek out those who appreciate your true value and who can remind you of your worth when you're feeling low. Lastly, don't be afraid to practice self-compassion. We're all human, and we all have moments of doubt. Instead of beating yourself up, be kind to yourself. Acknowledge that it's okay to have off days, but don't let those moments define you. Remember, your self-worth is like a muscle. The more you practice reinforcing it, the stronger it becomes. By staying self-aware, grounded in your values, surrounding yourself with positive influences, and practicing self-compassion, you'll find that your self-worth becomes more resilient, even in tough times. And when you maintain that unshakable self-worth, you continue to draw people to you no matter what challenges come your way. Now let's dive into our second habit. Master emotional control. I know what you might be thinking. Emotional control? That sounds like trying to keep a straight face when you step on a Lego barefoot. But trust me, mastering your emotions isn't about becoming a robot. It's about harnessing the power of your feelings in a way that makes others naturally drawn to you. Think about it. Who do we find ourselves gravitating towards in stressful situations? The person who's calm, collected, and seems to have it all under control, right? That's because emotional control exudes strength and confidence, making you the kind of person others want to be around. In the wise words of Marcus Aurelius, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. When you master your emotions, you're not just managing your reactions, you're controlling the narrative of how others perceive you. Imagine this scenario. You're in the middle of a heated conversation, and instead of snapping back or getting flustered, you take a deep breath, stay composed, and respond with calm and clarity. Not only does this disarm the other person, but it also makes them respect and admire your ability to stay grounded. They start to see you as a pillar of strength, someone who doesn't let the chaos of life shake their foundation. Now, I'm not saying you should bottle up your emotions. In fact, expressing your feelings thoughtfully and with intention can make your interactions even more powerful. It's about responding rather than reacting. For instance, when you express joy, do it fully. When you're upset, communicate it clearly but calmly. This measured approach makes your emotions more impactful and memorable, leaving a lasting impression on others. Here's a little humor for you. Think of mastering emotional control as being like a duck. On the surface, you're gliding smoothly across the water, but underneath, you might be paddling like crazy. The key is, no one sees the paddling. They just see you gliding along effortlessly, handling whatever comes your way. Emotional control also introduces an element of mystery. When you're not easily ruffled, people begin to wonder what's going on in your mind. This curiosity can be incredibly magnetic. They'll start to seek out your company, eager to understand the depth behind your calm demeanor. And here's the real kicker. When you consistently practice emotional control, you'll notice that your absence starts to speak for you. People will miss the stability you bring, the way you handle situations with grace, and the calm energy you exude. Suddenly, your absence creates a void that they can't help but feel, making them realize just how much they value your presence. Now let's sprinkle in a bit of humor. Imagine you're at a dinner party, and instead of blabbering on about your latest Netflix binge, you ask a simple yet thought-provoking question. So, what's the most interesting thing you've learned this week? Watch as the room suddenly comes alive with stories, laughter, and genuine conversation. You're not just part of the conversation, you're guiding it, making it memorable. And guess what? When you leave that party, people will remember you not just as the person who was there, but as the person who made their night meaningful. Let's not forget the power of words. As Seneca said, "Speech is the mirror of the soul. As a man speaks, so he is." Your words reflect who you are, so make them count. Be clear, be concise, and above all, be genuine. When you communicate with authenticity, you build trust, and trust is the foundation of any strong relationship. People are drawn to those they trust, and if your words consistently reflect your true self, they'll be naturally drawn to you. But here's the kicker. Sometimes the most intentional communication is silence. Yes, you heard that right. Knowing when to hold back, when to let your silence speak is a powerful tool. It's like leaving a cliffhanger in a story. It keeps them thinking, wondering, and yes, wanting more. Your silence can create a space that they feel compelled to fill, and that's when they come to you. So embrace intentional communication. Speak with purpose. Listen with intent. And don't be afraid to let silence do the talking when needed. When you master this habit, you'll find that your absence will start speaking for you. People will not only miss your words, but also the unique way you engage with them. They'll come to you, drawn by the authenticity and depth of your communication. Remember, in the end, it's not about how much you say, but how much of what you say truly matters. Let your words be the magnet that pulls them closer, and watch as they naturally gravitate towards you, eager for more. Now, doesn't that sound like a conversation worth having? Let's move on to the fourth habit, purpose-driven living. Purpose-driven people have a certain spark, an energy that is contagious and inspiring. When you're living with purpose, you radiate a kind of confidence and direction that naturally attracts others. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." When you align your thoughts with a clear purpose, you not only find happiness but also become someone others admire and want to be around. Purpose gives your life meaning, and that meaning is something that others will notice and gravitate towards. Now, living with purpose doesn't mean you have to become a monk or abandon all your earthly pleasures. It simply means knowing what you want out of life and actively working towards it. And let's be honest, who wouldn't be intrigued by someone who's got their life together? It's like being the main character in your own story,